Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. And it's always amazing with me, your host, Miss Annie. And on today's episode, we actually have this man I've been watching on the internet. It's like, I think when it comes to like TikTok devs, they were like they're like seniors, yeah. They're senior ass. People are just starting and doing your trends and dancing. They actually started TikTok, and it's my first time actually meeting him. Yeah, so funny enough, what made me see him was his color. I'm like, who is this fine gentleman standing there now? And then apparently I happened to have him today on set with me. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
How do I address you?
We're colleagues, so anyhow you want to.
Oh, is that?
Crent.
Crent.
Just Crent, yeah.
Crent. Is that how everybody calls you?
Yeah, Crent.
Crent. I actually met him today. Funny enough, we are talking about stereotypes, tribalism, culture stuff, yeah. And I happened to meet him when I was going to pick him up. I'm like, are you Nigerian? Because he's like, do you get that a lot?
I get that sometimes. I get that.
As
a matter of fact, when I speak the local dialect, I get people saying, what's a tree or what's a fancy, right? And all that. I thought you're Nigerian. I get that a lot. I do get that a lot.
Yeah, because so when he was like he's not Nigerian, I'm like, are you ever? Because if you're not Nigerian, you should be ever.
Yeah. The color, and
I've got that too. None of your parents are from Nigeria or Airways.
Nope. No.
Actually, I'm not adopted.
No, I'm not.
No one adopted you. No. Your parents are light skinned.
My dad, my mom is dark.
Hey. Yeah. Wow, you're really glowing.
Thank you.
How's it been?
It's been stressful. I mean, when you say how's it been, I'm just trying to relate it to content creation and work and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been stressful. Oh, and then, so I am half Fanti, half Ashanti. I guess I said I'm Ashanti, but it's strange when someone asks you your name, you say I'm Crenso. It's a fancy name.
Okay.
But I'm Ashanti because my mom is an Ashanti,
You guys take the machine, whatever.
And Nadia, that thing they say, right? But so I usually say I'm Fanti. But technically, I'm an Ashanti.
Apparently, now they're fancy.
Yeah.
But so right now, you're Ashanti.
Yeah.
Ashanti, anyone from Kumasi?
Yeah. So all Ashantis are from Kumasi.
I have this. Those of them that know me on TikTok say, only Kumasi for me. I don't know. For some reason, I'm like, Kumasi for me, some way, yeah. And apparently, I've actually had my adult life in Kumasi, even though I'm a typical Ghana girl.
Oh, I see.
I actually went to, I schooled in Kumasi, worked there and all that, so I know, but me, Kumasi, what they bore me.
How?
Stereotypes have that me, I didn't fall victim.
Actually, I that's why I've done more of fancy. I've lived, worked, stayed, everything. Fancy. Like, that's why I usually say I'm fancy. I relate more to the fancy side than the Ashanti, actually. But I mean, yeah.
So, okay, if there's Ashanti here and there's fancy here, pick one. Which one are you picking? Pick one.
I speak fancy better. I relate more to fancy better. So
I think it's better because Kumasi is not really, you don't really fit the Ashanti people. Ashanti people can, you too know.
Hey, you. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. What can happen because, and I don't know, for some reason, I don't even know why I chose the stereotype thing, but then, I think it's something that happens today. It has always been happening, and then it's still happening, affecting our lives in terms of our work, relationship, whatever. I think there's always, have you had any experience with, stereotype when it comes to ethnicity or culture in terms of your work? Like, you wanted a job and then perhaps, if you are not this type of person, you don't get the opportunity. Have you ever had this experience?
Well, for relating that to job, not necessarily. No, not that. But like I said, what you said happened when I was coming around, right? The fact that by merely looking at you, they assume you are this, you are that, all of that. Some people even meet me with the airway. F1, and I'm like, I say then they proceed. I'm like, no, I'm not aware. You understand? So I mean, that one, there's that, right?
Yeah.
But basically, I've not really seen that at my workplace or something much.
Yeah. And what do you think about the perceptions that people have in relation to some type of culture? Like when you come to, I'm a guy, so let's talk about guys. Yeah. Most of the time, people are actually disappointed when I tell them I'm a guy. Because they're like, they're expecting you to be fat. or they're expecting you to be a bush person. In fact, haven't you even seen that they will be grading photographs of babies? Always the girl child either has a stomach like Kwashoko or is always looking ugly. Like, haven't you seen that?
Yeah, I do.
And I don't understand what exactly is making you think that girls are not nice.
I don't.
Do you have a perception about girls?
Girls. Well, personally, from what I have heard, that has also sunk into my my brain is the fact that they say they are loud. I mean, that's what they say, right? That girls are loud. And the funny thing about all of this is that they use it to their advantage when they have to, and then discard it or dispute it when they don't want it. So,
how?
So a guy is fighting and then, hey, only mommy and crane you, hey, they start then hey. But then that same particular guy, when you're talking to that person and then you say something in relation to that, the person wants to say that I'm sorry I can for you, so you understand. So sometimes it's a bit confusing, you understand, especially even with the Evers too, the same thing. It's sometimes.
I think sometimes as well. When it comes to this perception about some type of tribe and all, sometimes it's not really it. Like we don't really when it comes to Evers. I actually have this mindset that other peoples are bad people.
Bad in what sense? I mean,
bad that they're always doing juju.
That's what we all hear.
I have this perception that always people they are always. I know this woman that told me she's actually an aware. She was like, "We and then cry, we need the beer or bibition." So I have this perception that airways are like this juju thing, but I don't actually know if it's true. I don't have an encounter of an airway treating me bad or an ever doing me wicked, but then there's this idea that has been built in my mind that airway people are like that.
For that, yeah, that's true. I mean, because they actually, like I said again, you try to say that and they want to fight you on it, but my fight, Pisces and IBB say, hey, when you send me, I've been my main free face is here. They use it and then they're like, hey, the same person. When I use that against you, you get angry. So to I've had roommates. There's this guy Della who would tell me. I mean, he would tell me about some of the stuff that happens that then it scares you. But it doesn't mean everybody. That's why it's just generalization, right?
Yeah.
It's true that there's all of that. I mean, when you ask most of them, yes. But some of them even try to kind of shy away from it because they know that, okay, it's not the best, it's not the blah, blah, blah. But like you said, some people say that, or ye Christian, you then crying the cacao. And they say that and it's just a bit, I just wonder how they feel when people say that, right? Because and it's a bit
I think this thing sometimes, I think it's from our parents. It's from the people that we grew up with. Because I, in particular, I do not know any word that has done me bad. But the things I've heard from probably my parents, my grandparents, has left this car in my mind that I'd be falling yet. So I think it shouldn't be so. We should have this. So once they give you this idea, once an hour does something little, no, someone can. Exactly. Type of thing. But like literally, it's just maybe that person's attitude. Just one person that's portraying that attitude, but just trying to like generalize. Yeah. Do you have any type of culture or any type of people that you don't want to like go in a relationship with that you think that this is over there?
So well, for me too, earlier I was just earlier based on the fact that I used to hear stuff about the Evers and all that. So I also used to be scared and all, right? Because sometimes people even say that so that's how they put it, right?
Yeah.
In the sense that so I remember there was this guy who used to tell me that if you are dating an Ever and then you do something wrong with the person, settle it there. Don't let her cry and go home. Because we are to do fear, you understand? So I used to be scared of all those things, but I have met amazing people. I have met my tutee, my academic tutee in school, Miss Seshi, that lady. That woman was she's one of the people that changed my whole perception about Evers and all that. You meet these people and realize that they are even more, I mean, excuse me to say, more humane than certain people that you would expect certain things from, you understand? And then, one thing you also know about them is that they favor themselves more. Your bro, once you your bro, that means that you and all that, and that's beautiful. I mean, it's even something you should probably even emulate, right? Because and all that. But basically, that was what it was earlier. I was scared of Evers and all that, but now I even have more friends and more people from that tribe than even others.
So you don't think there's any type of tribe I'd be like, oh, this tribe, I can't do this, but I can't get married to this, I can't do this.
Like I said, that was earlier, but now, but where I've gotten to, exploring social media and everything after relating with a lot of people, that is not what I'm looking at for at all. It doesn't have anything to do with tribal now, right? Culture, tribal, no, it has to do with your personal behavior and everything. So now I'm not really scared when it comes to the tribe itself. No.
Yeah. Now, when we're talking about others, we're like, they support each other. I feel like that thing also happens a lot. When you want help from someone, that it shouldn't be so, because probably you want someone from you want help, yeah, and the person is Ebe, but you wanna can, and then you go and another Ebe comes there. There's a high chance that he's going to pick the Ebe.
There's that for that one.
And leave you.
Yeah, there's that.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, let me throw in the Hakimi issue, right?
Yeah.
You hear people are like, everybody wants a son like Hakimi, but no one wants a husband like Hakimi.
Okay.
If you were ever, then you'll be happy about this situation. But once you are not, then you say that. So it depends on where you stand. You understand? Yeah, it depends on where you stand.
But I think it shouldn't be so. It should be commonsensical, because if probably someone is trying to get a job or someone wants a favor from you, or let's even say a job, you are fancy. There's one that is ever. You, the one who can offer the jobs than ever. You shouldn't really consider
the tribe.
Think about the person's capability or ability. But if you just say, oh, Nipa, like they are better, I feel like it's wrong. But then apparently that's what happens.
No, I think that can come to play when they are both equally qualified or something. Okay. Then there has to be that extra something.
Okay.
Then that one comes in there. I think it's understandable. I don't know, but
when it comes in after
we realize that both of them are good, everything they both. I think now that thing comes in, and they might want to choose but there has to be something factor to who to pick, and so there'll be something. So if that is what it comes to, I don't know, but
I think even when it comes to politics, I'm not so much into politics, but growing up, my dad and my mom, they are MPP supporters, and the house I live next to, the house I live next, no, actually he's an MP chairman, so apparently everybody's like MPP. So I grew up being an MPP person, and I happen to realize that growing up, there are some type of people that are with this particular political party.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about the MPP, who call Chebi, who call some part of Kumasi, and then when you talk about NDC, so I don't understand. So sometimes it's not about what these people can do, what these political candidates can do, but the fact say free Chebi and like
there's that. There's this thing people often say, right? They're like, say Okofa, what do you say Okofa upon check crowd and see MPP so. Yes, and seeing there's those things, and we do the same thing for NDC
as well,
relating it to the MS and all that. They do that too, but there are exceptions, right? Because we have NPP constituencies. I mean, people where some NPP people are, MPs in the Everlands, right, and all that. And we have NDC places over there. So it's not really, it's there. I mean, the majority of it, then that is how it is, right? But then, like I'm saying, it's not everybody. There's a few sector of them where some of them deviate from the normal. I mean, this now is the normal. It's something you can dispute it.
But I think it should get to a point in our lives where this thing shouldn't be there. Don't you think it should be there?
Yeah, actually, my parents, a typical example. Like we were saying, my parents were NPP growing up. NPP. At one point in time, they started saying no, NDC. So I admire them for that. So they proved to me that it's not necessarily about the party, but the leader and how or managing and all that. So that made me really cherish them and all that. If you get to that point, but it's very difficult to do that, especially in
why?
No, it's going to be difficult. I mean,
because it's not difficult. What is the party doing for you? It's not what the party. To me, I'm not really concerned about MPP or NDC. It's what this candidate can do for me.
There's some things
why is it difficult?
It has existed, and there's some things you can't change.
That's the thing that we need to change, because even well, this thing I'm talking about, even at my workplace, there are certain times that I want to, like, bring an initiative or start something. But then someone will come from somewhere and be like, oh, it's wrong. Because saying I am the beer, it won't mean, like, you can't come and bring a new technique. But I'm like, you have been doing it this way for a long period of time, doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it's supposed to be. There can be a new initiative that will be better, but who are you to bring that initiative?
This reminds me of something, right? I got pretty angry at a group of people. During there was some mismanagement and everything earlier this year and all that, and I praised it like, hey baby, our minor quantity. Hey, what is all this? What kind of government? And people came to write on I put that on my status. I was like, I knew it. You've always been NDC. I knew it. I'm like, this is not about. So sometimes I pity the youth when we do that, right? When you can't even say the truth just because I'm affiliated to this, I'm affiliated to. Can't you say the truth? Even if you're affiliated to something, can't you just say the truth as well? And then sometimes some people they rather not speak. If they know that this person is doing it wrong, they rather not speak than speak. Yeah, so that and it's sometimes disturbing as you growing up. If that is what we are starting with, how we are doing, it's a bit disturbing because then we are also going to grow up, get there, and then do the same thing that we're doing, right? And it's sometimes
I feel like this type of we are affiliated to this political party is our parents' time. It's our parents' time.
It's still there because at the end of the day, right? The truth of the matter is we will still need people to take over. So they will pick someone who was loyal from the beginning. So as I'm saying, it's not something you can really change in a day. We will still need someone who was loyal from the beginning. Oh, this guy, he was with NPP since he was back in school. He was still at this, or he was with NDC, he was in so PNC, PPP, whatever. He was this. There are people who would want to choose someone like that. Someone, time and we rally cannot come home. They would rather want to choose the person than Obia or Moses here. I will say, I was here. I stand for the truth. So I was here.
People don't want to listen to the truth. Like when you come out to the truth, you
understand. And you make enemies from that. You understand? Yeah.
But shouldn't be so.
Shouldn't. But it's difficult to change such a thing.
It's difficult. I think is it a Ghanaian mentality?
I don't think it's just Ghana. I think it has to do with. It's not just Ghana.
Even with this, sometimes I even find it funny when and they are doing Black Lives Matters like we the people in Ghana, we'll be supporting the blacks outside. Black Lives Matters. But when it comes to even with us, we are not even united as people. Even here.
You understand, but you're going to fight for somebody.
Trust me, if there's a job opportunity here, let's say there's this job opportunity here, and then there's this black man here from Ghana, let's say you currently are here, and then this white man that has come from nowhere and is standing here, there's a high chance that they'll give it to the white man because
they take their time serious, they do this serious, there's that thing. And sadly, we prove them right.
Really?
Sadly, I am not going to lie. Sadly, sometimes it's heartbreaking, right? But we prove them right because when in moment we feel baby that has to, kind of already we heal them, right? When they come there, we give them that kind of.
Should we even heal them?
I don't know. But we give them that kind of preferential treatment and everything. So maybe it should get to their head and all that. But you see this particular person coming to work very early and all that. And you see the Ghanaian or the African, the Ghanaian trying to cut corners clearly you can see it. The person is well to do and everything, but the person is still coming to work early, trying to do this, trying to do that. And then you see the Ghanaian cutting corners and it's just sad. It's just a typical Ghanaian guy would cry, there's no job, get the Uber job, and the way he will handle it, will cry, like, I'm here, I can't come. Hey, hello, you want to cancel, no, why I cancel, and all that, and all those stuff. Do you actually want the job or not? You understand? Yeah. Sometimes it's sad. We prove them right. Unfortunately, we actually prove them right that these people better handle stuff like that. They are better in managing stuff than us.
But sometimes I feel like we should be the black people should be given opportunities because I feel like not every white person is really like smart like how it is.
I'm not saying we shouldn't be given that because there are exceptions. To every rule, right? So we have people who are also dedicated to their work. You understand? The majority of us keep proving this people right, and it makes it sad. You understand? But to me, you open a job, you bring your cousin. Okay, forget family, but you bring another black person in there to manage it for you while you do your stuff. And the way that we will be real,
no, I think when you were even saying you should take family out, family should be included. Yeah, I feel like when you're starting like a business or anything you want to do, I don't find.
The reason why I said let's say family out is that one you can attribute. So now you can say that okay, he did it because we are family.
And that shouldn't even be so.
Yeah. So personally, myself, I will never. I'm saying this on record. I will never open a business and make my family member a manager. I will never in my life do that. I would rather I would donate the job to the channel. I don't want that thing to cause conflict between me and them. We are so united. I love them, but let's say God for I don't even have a junior brother. So if I had a junior brother, right? So buy a car, if I'm not chilling to buy a car, give the car to him. So they offer you a jumana or mommy or something. I'll rather do that to a stranger. If I'm buying the car and I'm dashing it to him to work with, that is it. Then my hands is off it. But let's work together. Let's do something. I don't think I'll ever do that.
Why?
It breaks family. It breaks family. And from the beginning, he needs it or he or she needs it, right? So comes to you, oh, please, I need it, and blah, blah, blah. So from the beginning, he or she will acknowledge the fact that, okay, you are the one who can help. But getting towards the latter part, now when he handles, malhandles whatever you've given to the person's like, mia, and they'll to make us a you know,
yeah.
It goes that way, and then now you become the bad person. So I would rather love to open a business, give it to the person, a car, give it to the person if I can, if I'm in that position. But say, be a manager for me and be reporting to me, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that.
But I feel like that even shouldn't be so, because I think it's not a black man or a Ghanaian mentality thing, because I've actually seen, some of the businesses outside the country, like white people, is something that's like family
business. Understand?
Because you want it to be together, you want you guys to grow the thing.
The black man does not understand it when you say that let's put business aside, let's put family aside. They don't understand. They always let's mix it. Oh, me wofa. Then me see is start that kind of right? The black man doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
I think that those people, it's working for them because they understand this kind of stuff, right?
When it's work, it's work. When it's family, it's family.
That is it. So you know when to do it. But the black man doesn't, and it's part of our culture, right? We do I don't know how to put it. The bond is there right from the beginning. It unfortunately becomes a bad thing when we grow up, right? But right from the beginning, you are codependent on each other. Oh, all those kind of stuff. So you do it. So it gets to the point where now you even feel entitled. Once your brother is very rich, you're entitled to it, right? Business, maybe a human family, and all that. There's all those things. But the typical white guy, right from the beginning, they even want to go their own ways.
Yeah,
all those things. It's different over here.
Yeah, so I think in Ghana per se, obia type of thing.
Exactly.
But like outside, you live on your own, you decide. So here it's like, just as you were saying, like everybody feels like they're entitled to, or they can have something that's not even them because my brother has this money. Why am I supposed to be poor? It's your brother's money. He worked for his own money, but then for some reason, well, I was now with. And it shouldn't.
It's not the best, right? it's not the best, but that is the case. Unfortunately, that's what we are facing. Yeah,
that should not even be the case.
Yeah, that should be the case. But that's it.
But anyways, probably I should just move out of the country if I want my life to get better. I'm how?
Yeah,
because here it's difficult here.
I mean, sometimes people say that you are working hard. You're working very hard in the wrong country.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the same input you are putting in a particular job, if you had to put that same input elsewhere, I mean, in a different country, you would have probably made. But no matter what, you know that there are other places that are worse than this place. So I mean, once you're.
Yeah. What do you have to say about getting a job as of connection?
Through connection. Getting a job through connection. Again, once it is favoring you, you'll be happy about it. Right? It's the person that is not favoring that would, feel bad and all that, right? But once it's favoring you, you'd it's just that if only you yourself can live with it, right? Especially when you know very well you're not qualified for it, and so you are struggling with the work day to day, I think they'll catch up with you, right? But if you're smart enough that you got it through connection, but you catch up with it, you live up to it, you are able to fit in that position, then that's fine. But if you are a round peg in a square hole or whatever, it will catch up with you.
Do you think as compared to men, women as compared to men, and women are being favored as compared to men in terms of everything they do?
This topic.
Do you think we are favored as compared to men?
Yeah, you ladies have been favored. I think so.
How? How? Because I've not got any favor. I've not got any favor.
No, see, it comes in a way that you might not. It's subtle. Sometimes, lately, it's subtle, right? Because they look at the position you are fighting with. A female engineer fighting over the same position or competing over the same position as a male. The fact that you've been able to even get there, we want to push you. Generally, I myself would even feel like, oh, Charlie, you've done so well for you to be so. It's there. It's subtle. It's not out there like outright. It's said outright. But once you have the same qualification as the male, I feel like, okay, let me give you the chance. You understand? And then there's this notion that ladies handle things differently and well and all of that. So you might want to have that feminine touch to whatever you are doing, to your business. So there's that. And then the ladies are feeling, but yeah, you think
it's unfair? You think it's unfair?
Look, I just said that myself. I might be tempted to do that. Right?
Yeah.
And so, if you talk about fairness, there's not fair. No, there's not fair. But then again, it's good to encourage some of these people. But then the problem comes when later on, it hurts when ladies want to use it. They turn it to use to their advantage, and when it gets the time when
how do we turn? I don't understand. How do we turn it to advantage now?
Let me give you this example. I was on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I saw how do you call it? This thing. A comment. A fellow lady went to his her brother's house and found enchanting. I like mixing the tree with the dish.
Okay,
right? I want it to be interesting. Yeah. So found the dishes unkept to the extent say like is it Parajara or fungi? Yeah, fungi. There were a lot of fungi and all of that in it and all. So she shot it and placed it on TikTok saying that how can you, a lady, be in a house and this blah 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 blah. The comment I saw under that post was your brother to also equata onto me. Yeah. You see, we are not at the point where we are talking about equality and everything, and so now a lady is going to marriage with the intention that so you go there and your husband is even asking you to cook, and you want to tell the husband, say we are both working, we are both paying money, so you to go and cook. It's not right. It's not like the men we want to treat you as slaves, so it's not like we want you to be slaves. So. But what happened to some of these things? Some things are unspoken rules. Once you speak about it, then it becomes bad. You said a lady belongs to the kitchen. It's wrong to outrightly say that. Because personally, I would be happy to help my wife cook and everything. But if it comes to the point where between the two of us, I'm asking to go and cook, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Come on.
It shouldn't be said out loud.
How on earth do you tell me that you're a lady, you've stayed there, you've seen the chance here, I've seen it, and you tell me that also to me here. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Have you gotten to that? I took that thing personal. I commented. Yeah. I wrote like 20 comments like that thing. I was like, has it gotten to that? People still came to that. Yes, we said it. I'm like, hey, you understand? But then that same person, so they're saying that is not supposed to be a lady's job. I am not even saying it has to be your job. But then you shouldn't sit down and see this happen, right? But then that same lady, that same person, when there's a thief or a burglar or something in the house, that one. That man, bro, hey, the man should go. When I commented on that, someone was like, yeah, that one, you are the man. I'm like, that one, you are the man. Also, sure enough, we also call let the man hide and you to go and do that. You understand? There's something they're unspoken. That is what I'm not saying that polygamy is right, but that is how come our forefathers were able to live with like 3 women at the same time, because they respect each other. They know that okay, this is that, and all that. We're not saying that it has to be the same thing, all right, but there's some things that we don't have to say it. For example, if you have a husband, if you're lucky to have a husband who helps you wash, take it as an added advantage. Don't make it such that every Saturday we are not a friend. So do that. Please don't do that. Yeah. I will never, ever, ever, educate my daughter I will train you in such a way that you would know that, okay, I have to do the washing, I have to do this. Even if I'm going to work, I have to make time to do this. So that if you meet a man who is so supportive, it becomes an added advantage. You would love him more, the relationship goes on more. But if I'm telling you, a woman is this, a woman, gone are the days when this, and you are treating that,
yeah.
the person is going to the marriage with that thing. The face is like this. Even if you say, go and wash now, poof. She's ready to fight you, and it's bad. I think it's bad.
Yeah. It's bad. What do you have to say about mixed religion dating? Like, yeah, you are Muslim, you date like Christian. Have you ever been in that situation?
I have been in a situation where I am probably crashing on a Muslim, right? But I just know that no, it's not going to work. So I just close my eyes. King, that's all.
Yeah.
But
why is it not going to work? But I think we actually live in an era, in a dispensation where now Christians are able to like marry Muslims.
You know, the whole thing is, I think the Muslims don't agree to it.
They are the problem.
So not necessarily they're the problem. They don't agree to it. So if they don't agree to it, why force it, right? If it's going to be a problem, then don't force it.
But if you like someone, what has it got to? I don't think it has got anything to do with religion. My only problem is that when you guys get together and have kids, the kids is my problem. Where they should be.
You know, you are saying this because you are Christian, right?
Yeah.
You're saying it because you are Christian.
Really?
Let me put this to you. Recently, an influencer, a very good influencer, made a video with a Muslim setting, some betting stuff and all that. Yeah. Hey, the way they almost drag so they're like, no, Muslims don't even bet, it's haram. Blah, blah. And then someone said that, they're like, we don't joke with Islam. And someone said, okay, so Christians, yeah, we're bad. Yeah. And I was like, okay, if you joke with yours, that is fine, but we don't joke with ours. And I was okay with it. At the end of the day, they don't joke with theirs. So that's the same way, if you're going to marry the person, they say no, what can you do about it? You are going to say no, what can you do about it? You understand? A Christian might tolerate this, but I know that Muslims, usually don't tolerate it. You have to. I think I've heard that the lady can be the Muslim. There's this thing where the man can go and marry a Christian, but has to convert her or something. I don't know it well, but there's all of that. But say you are trying to put the person into your religion or something, they don't agree with it. So that is it. So you might want it, but it can't work.
It's
sad. It's sad.
You know that when I was growing up, not even when I was growing up, it was just this year that I was able to know that not all Muslims were virgins.
What?
Yes.
Not all
Muslims are virgins.
As the female, the ladies, before they marry?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Do you think they were all virgins?
No, I'm lost.
I actually used to think that they were all virgins before they got married.
Well, what someone is doing his or her closer, you don't see.
No, it was because of the idea that they were.
Oh, that's
yeah. So you see, Muslims do not drink. Like they don't drink. They are always covered. You don't. And I don't even trust me. Yeah, I've not seen any Muslim girl talking about sexual stuff before. have you heard one?
No. Oh, things are changing. So you'd see.
I've not even seen one girl talk about sexual. It's like all the time. They don't know. Was like they all can't take harder. So I used to think that all of them they are waiting till their husbands. But I was talking to like a Muslim friend of mine, like, we all do it. I'm
by you.
No, because trust me, they looked when it comes to Christians here, we are like, even though we are Christians, that they do them kind of things like we are. But when it comes to the Muslims, they are very, very silent when it comes to things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very surprised that they are not really what I used to think that they are.
It's because they usually enforce their rules, their beliefs. They talk about it more. They enforce it. So it gives you that notion. It gives you that it puts that in your mind, right? So it makes you feel like, okay, there is, like the way we say we don't drink. Christians also are not supposed to drink, right? But we don't hammer on it. I don't know how to put it, but even within the whole Christian community, I teach 355, right?
Yeah.
Muslims are all Muslims, so we do not drink, and it's across. All those, some of them steal themselves.
And drink, Abby.
Yeah, and all that, right? So that one, once you say it, a Muslim will tell you that is
they don't drink.
No, that person will tell you that is not a true Muslim. Then that person is not true, or it is still haram. The fact that they're doing the wrong thing doesn't mean. But Christian, they will be because Rebecca say, so it boils down to all of that, right? Individual stuff. So basically, Muslims are more united. So whatever rule or whatever thing they set out there, they bring it out and you hear it at once. But Christians, Pentecost, the need about.
Doors, yeah,
Adventists say. They say me the men shout to my day. So now who's not degree? So it's not one. You understand?
Well, I think Muslims are much united.
That's what I'm saying exactly.
When it comes to all this, as compared to Christians, even in one church now called Crent, they're not even united.
You understand?
I used to attend this church, yeah, and I'm not even going to mention the church. Hey, Jesus, like the type of people that are rich, they are close. I remember there was some time ago that my church was this childish thing, and I was saying something, and I work for university there.
You know,
and I'm like, what?
You understand?
And then they want to do a particular, like the pastor's wife, or Mkophobia and Kolabi or check you on also because you're from this particular family and you're like poor. Mm-hmm. And like it shouldn't even be like that because Muslims are very, very like together. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to we Christians, all the time it's like there's this differentiation.
Oh, okay, even within us Christians, a particular church group would not want to marry you know, as a Christian.
Oh, I am sorry.
Right. So even amongst us there's that division. So how can we have one voice to also stand against certain things? But Muslims stand against something and that is it. They are against this, that is it. Bum. Understand? That's the whole thing.
What do you say about some Christians going to church and then stopping the church because of things that happen in the church? Have you encountered that? Because have you had an encounter?
I have.
Really?
I have. I switched church myself. I have. I switched.
Share your encounter.
I would love to, but people know the church I used to attend and wonder. So I wouldn't want
you know something, I'm not even going to say this. Something happened at my workplace just recently. Let me will for Jesus. Because the idea, whatever happened was very, very stupid. And if I say it outside, they're going to be like, But I can't say the thing because people know they're the TikTok handle. And they'll definitely see the video.
Okay, let me put this out there general, right? So this is the whole thing. Currently, I attend ICGC.
Okay.
Right? And what made me fall in love with ICGC, it's a bit strange. So the whole thing was that my church, the whole thing is that whenever it's time for maybe Mother's Day, right? Mm-hmm. Mother's Day.
Yeah.
What they would do, it was always how to collect money. What they would do is, all mothers, don't be anymore, then they all come. What the harness is, but now you might say, all that. That's the whole thing. When it is maybe youth day or something and they want to do dinner, you will pay again for the dinner and all that. Mm. Then I come to ICGC. It's your birthday. They call you birthday. They call you, and then they celebrate you. They sing for you everything. Give everybody chocolate. That's it. You go and sit down. Mother's Day, the church will organize dinner for you. So that place, when you are giving tithes and everything, you feel like the money is being used on you again.
Yeah.
And that place says, hey, sorry, no. You go to you start church. You go like they want you to come. Hey, I was about to say something. You go to church, right? And then you not close early. You go to church like 8, and sometimes you close like 2. When you're done, you sit down while you're done, and then when it's time for something, you have to pay again for it. All those things, It's just sad, right? But I went to ICGC. I mean, that's where I attend. That's what I'm using. And then, according to their time, it's 2 services from this time to this time, this time to this time. That's what they do. And that is it. Do this, do that, everything. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
Even when it comes to your prayer, I can't even go to churches that do more than 3 hours because that night we record 8 o'clock and you close at 2. What are you?
You end up letting the person, So I went to this other church, and then I went to ICGC, and then I realized how you end up. So you Ben said give. When you're giving, you give joyfully.
Freely, yeah.
You see them trying to put in this project. They give account of what they're using the money for. Everything. You're like, oh wow, this is beautiful. Yeah.
I think it's because these other churches I don't know if it's kind of often Because I feel like the offerings and the tithe that we give is supposed to come back to us in a certain way, because God doesn't take the money from us directly. It's not like after we have paid the offering, and we command and say, "Oh, take the offering." So we use it here on earth. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I feel like I relate to this. I relate to this because I feel like if there's a camp, I remember some time ago, my former said, if there's a camp, I can name it to ask her. But then we've been paying tithes and offering all the time. So I think there are even churches that, you see, when there's someone going through a difficult time, they use this money, tithe and things to support the person.
Help the person. You understand? And so it was sad. I don't want to go into details because once I start saying details, you get to know the churches I'm talking about. That's why. But someone from the church actually needed some money. Someone from the church came to my dad and asked my dad for as little as 300 cedis. So this is somebody who has always been leading. Maybe a mic, MC, and everything. So he came to my dad for as little as I think 300 cedis or something. And my dad was like, "Oh, something like this, you should have really asked the church." He said he asked, and the pastor was like, "Yeah," and I said, "So can I say, the church, and I said, by now, son."
Look at that.
I'm like, "No, this is not anybody. This is somebody who he's always the MC, always leading, always doing something at church." And this is what you tell the person, right? That's so sad, right? So you don't see the money, come back to you and all that. And it's the same church that we're supposed to contribute to buy a car for the pastor. I look at it, no. So I visited ICGC and I stayed. I just stayed instantly.
Now that I'm talking about this whole thing, I'm actually from a Ghana community, yeah. But I've not really imagined myself with a Ghana man before.
Why? I'm interested in this one.
There's this, I don't know, there's this perception, well, it's my perception, but when I look at the successful people so far in Ghana, I can't see Ghana. Even though I'm a Ghana, when I'm thinking about successful people, you don't see Ghana in it. And it's really it's making the whole perception of Ghana men not working true. Oh. Like Ghanaians don't like work, they are lazy. Even though it's not true, because my dad works hard. But then I can't see the type of Ghana, like, I live in the Ghana community and like all the boys are like yeah. Like I can't really see them pushing. Like you see the Fante man, the Ewe man, like very, very serious. Notness, yeah, they can be very, very serious.
Everywhere.
But like my fellow Ghana man, Ganyobi, he's like sitting in town somewhere or being a mate somewhere, church or like type of thing. I want to believe it. For instance, coincidental. That is how. Is a coincidence?
I want to believe it. So
which Ghana person successful that you know?
Oh, there.
Mention two Ghana successful men. Let me see.
They are them now.
If they are there, mention. I said mention only two Ghana men that successful.
The name Alote. Alote is a Ghana name, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Professor Alote.
Professor.
Yes. Also Professor. That man. After here, Google that man. That man is one great. He had dealings with NASA and all that. One great. But here we have Alote's Constance or something. And all that. Just look. I'm just confused if he's actually Ghana. That's my problem because
but I think Alote is a Ghana name.
It's a Ghana name. So yes, that is one great man and one very, 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 very good man. He's international.
Aside Alote,
you made me speak the guy.
I mean, aside Alote, which other Ghana man can you mention that's successful?
Oh, the MPs in the Ghana communities.
Those ones, there's a must. Every Ghana community needs an MP.
Must produce an MP,
so that one, aside the MP.
No, I follow this right. I'm not good with names.
You see, so it's like me confirming the whole perception. So say any perception statistically, it's me Ghana and that. So that I feel like sometimes it's like this. So I understand when some type of women from a particular ethnicity do not want to marry people from their own ethnic.
Yeah, but there's that, especially even the Evers. I had a roommate who said that I will not. The way he said I will not marry my fellow, and I'm like, why? Sometimes they can't even explain. He can't even explain it himself.
I think it's because they are in that culture. So they know how things.
Women are. How this one is. The person he himself was saying it. Meanwhile, to some people too. Just love that. It's funny. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there are some people that will not even go outside of their culture or outside of their race. They just want to be there within their ethnic.
Individual, preference, I guess.
But sometimes it's true. Sometimes it cuts across because right now, even I don't know what's going to change my mind to be with a Ghana man.
No. I mean, if you see the Ghana man trying. I mean, if you see him actually,
and there's this perception that guy men do not take care of their children.
And do you see that too? Is it true? And do you see that more often?
A lot of the time that I've seen guy men, they don't really take care of their children.
Yeah, I think that thing is everywhere.
It's not everywhere. Like I've actually seen people who are like from the Ashanti region or the Central region take care of their children up to like university. Even after maths, I have this friend of mine. His dad is from I don't know this tree. Yeah, she's doing her masters and the dad is still like, but like, gun.
It doesn't really happen.
You just have to finish JHS.
That's it.
See, for the secondary school, they say a fee, but I don't see them like pushing their kids like university.
Exactly.
They are not. So I feel like Ghans are not so much invested in education as compared to other, people.
Okay, so maybe you can put it that way.
Yeah, they are not really
Usually,
invested in education.
so for example, if you're coming from a village where they cherish, let's say a village, right? Let me put it that way, where they cherish farming so much, you realize that number one, first place when they give birth to a male, they are happier.
Okay.
Because they'll get someone who will be helping, and they get someone who focuses more. He's more hardworking, stronger, looks more strong, and everything will help with the farm. Such a person will be happy and will be proud of that male because when will be a bit to continue with this whole farming thing. But here's the case: you have someone like a Fanti who our minds are book. So he is more happy about a son who is so brilliant. Of course, go first because that thing, Effenberg, my son, Effenberg, Ferguson, all those things. So it depends on so it's true. There's that, right? That's usually all the time. It doesn't cut across everybody. For that one, we should know that. It doesn't usually cut across everybody.
Yeah.
So like I said, you can try and generalize, but
I shouldn't generalize.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Right?
Yeah, but majority wins.
Yeah, majority, that is why people do that. But it hurts when you are not part of that majority and they are, trying to, the baton. I mean, it hurts, right?
Anyways, let's wrap this whole thing up. Tell me much about, I'm actually new to TikTok as well. I just started TikTok a while ago.
You're new?
Yeah, I'm new.
Okay.
Guys,
relatively.
Yeah, relatively. So, has content creation been, you see yourself doing TikTok for the rest of your life for a long period of time? Is it passion? Is it a job?
Okay. Yeah. So you asked this question earlier, but I dodged it, right? So really? I am how do you call it? I'm an engineer. I work as an environmental safety engineer, right? Yes, and so it was a bit difficult. It's been difficult for me, right? Combining the two, but TikTok has become a passion now, right? It's more like a passion. And what makes it happy and enjoyable for me in person is the fact that I'm actually reaping off of it.
Okay.
I'm actually
pays
getting
off.
Very much.
Wow.
Very in capital letters, right? Very, 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 very much. Right? Sometimes you can get a pay and it's like your 6 months pay at the workplace combined from just one.
What am I passing?
From just one brand deal, and you can get a deal that is like about 6 months pay from this one. Sometimes you can get your 1 month pay from one single video. Sometimes it's interesting. So you look at it and you're like, okay, make a video. Just that it was built over time, right? That is the whole thing. So it was built over time. That is why I don't know, I'm not going to do all these quotes, but someone says that if I become an expert and I'm doing something for you in 1 minute, when you pay me, you're not paying for that 1 minute, so you're paying for that 20 years that I spent learning for it. Basically that. So TikTok is not a passion. And so the little time I find, I'm able to do something from it, right? For example, if not that we are doing this podcast right now, I could have gotten some sharp content to do with you right now. It becomes a passion such that sometimes you save some sounds down, you save some videos down that you do them when you meet somebody. So it becomes, generally you're walking around and then even you're at the workplace, you find something funny, you use that as you get it. So basically that's become a passion. So that is what makes it a bit easier for me. And the fact that like it's paying off, right?
Yeah.
And so you doing it, you enjoy doing it. But for that, it's a bit tiresome.
Yeah, and now that you're saying it, I also happen to work in the mining field, and then in that field you are like, you're assumed to like serious. So when you happen to be doing TikTok, it's like you unye serious with her not. Do you have that thing?
Yeah, I used to get the same thing, but they go to my page, they look at my page, they see my page, and they're like, oh, okay.
It's not really.
You see me sometimes. You see me on TV. Like, yeah, you are doing your own podcast and all that, all these things, right? So they see me on TV, and like, oh, so after all, it's quite good.
Yeah.
And you tell me I'm not serious. You end up bringing a job for me to do. Sometimes, yeah, true. Sometimes they'll come to you. My brother is a musician. He wants you to promote. And if you say something bad about me,
Forget it.
Forget it. You understand? So basically, so it will go and come back and bite you in there. Yes.
What do you have to say about the people that a lot of people really want to go into content creation, but they don't have the kappa. No, okay, no, I don't say kappa, like motivation, because it's very, very difficult to grow in like a channel and all. So how will you want to motivate those that want to be content creators and all?
The problem with the current content creators is they want to get to where some of us are right now quickly, and that's the problem. I never ever in my life, when I started TikTok, thought that I would get money out of it. It was purely for content. Fun. It was purely for fun. Then I started paying off. But someone starts, I know this person who constantly keep bugging me that if I get promo, money be why. You're having 10K followers. So, maybe not when you promo, I'm like, no, take your time. So most of us who are there now, we started out as just fun. So it was just passion. The fact that it's funny, we are doing it. So just do it. Do it. By the time you get about someone starting page fresh. The intention is to make money out of it. That is my job from the beginning. Now we've gotten to the point where TikTok can be your job. I'm not going to lie. People make fun of these things, but maybe when we say TikTok, it makes it funny.
Yeah.
But content creation can actually be a job now, because I'm telling you that people are getting paid more than managers from TikTok.
Now that you're saying this thing, I remember on Twitter, this guy, is it?
Sheldon.
Yeah. I haven't realized that I don't know if it's his own apartment or his own place, but then I was seeing people say, oh, congratulations, which means it's probably his. Now they are saying that content creation really pays off. Then there's a high chance that people are actually like able to build something. Like, because a lot of people were doubting him. They were like, because the content creation is cap, but he's done his own thing, but he's using content creation as an excuse. So you think there's a high chance that people could actually create things like that from?
1,000% true. From what I have, I would say I'm a part-time TikToker. And what I'm getting from TikTok, what I can do with TikTok, the money I get from TikTok, it's direct and indirect, right? So you have indirect means. That's like I'm saying, brand influencing and other things, right? What I could have done with that, but I'm channeling it to something else, right? It's highly possible. One example is this guy, Gilby. There's this guy called Gilby on TikTok. GIL_BBY. Gilby, right? Yeah, check it. That guy is a typical example. For him, for now, as we speak, he's a full-time TikToker. That's what he says. Like he's a full-time content creator.
Yeah.
And he gets a lot of brands, deals, and everything. And you can do a lot with it. He has bought a car. He's not shy to say it. He says that he bought a car from it and all that. You can get very good deals. You can do a lot from that. It's very possible. You know that it's possible to make about 20,000 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
That some people make 20,000 Ghana cedis in 5 minutes on TikTok. From just that live thing that they do, Sometimes the live thing, there's this gifting thing.
Yeah.
And you can get, there are times when people can get up to like 3 million, 3 million gifts.
Wow.
And that 3 million means like, I think $15,000. And that is some huge
a lot of money.
So nobody should underestimate all these things. These AQ official thems who have gotten there, what they do, I just don't like it. I don't have time for the live and all that because of my work and all that. But that live and those games that they play, it is crazy, You can make overnight, like 5 minutes, span of 5 minutes, you can make like 20,000 Ghana cedis on TikTok. It's very possible from all these gifting things. People don't know.
Then it's a high chance that he was able to.
Yes, I believe so. I mean, he's monetized this YouTube and all that. Everybody knows about him, so I'm not surprised. He also gets brands and all that. So yeah, it's true.
Do you think you can decide to like stop your job and be like, I want to be a full-time content creator?
I haven't thought of that. I am rather thinking of in future turn it into even a family TikTok, right? I want to always do something so like now I involve my wife, my kids and all that. It will make it very nice. But I might not want to stop my actual job because actually the schooling I went, I can't throw that away, right? I can't do that. That's my own way. But maybe when I get my own business or something, I want to stop work. That is different. But I will not stop and just go into content creation. I don't see myself doing that. That I don't see myself doing.
Okay. Anyways, it was nice having you here, and this podcast is like, it was an all-round thing from here to here to here to here to here. And I'm very, very glad I was able to have you come here, even though it was at a very, very, I think I'm very, very grateful. And guys, when you see him in town, you need to salute him because he's your boss and also my boss. See you another time, guys. Bye.